If you do not possess the necessary skills, it is suggested that you review the Major Ed Dames Learn RV DVD course before attempting to execute an RV Chronos project.
Hello, my name is Michael Ruiz, and welcome to the RV Chronos DVD course. Chronos was developed to overcome a serious shortfall in the field of remote viewing. It's known as the time problem. We'll get into exactly what that is and how we overcome it in just a few moments. Chronos is the culmination of research I did before becoming a remote viewer, buttressed with information that I learned afterwards. The DVD is divided into sections: theory, protocol and methodology, workflow, project management. Each section builds upon information presented in the previous section, so I suggest you sit back, don't relax, and take copious notes. By the end of this DVD, you will realize that time truly is no longer a barrier.
Asking the question, what is Chronos, is the same as asking, what is time? In Greek mythology, Chronos was the personification of time. The metaphor exists in our modern world today as an image of the elderly Father Time with a long white beard, holding the zodiac, pendulum, hourglass, or clock. In remote viewing, Chronos is a metaphor of the human concept of time. What exactly is time? Quantum mechanics have postulated that time does not really exist due to the very strange interactions of subatomic particles. Many of the world's leading physicists believe at the most basic and fundamental level of reality, time does not exist. That everything we perceive as now, or the present, has in fact already occurred, and our human conscious awareness is merely catching up with what has already transpired, and is apparently manifesting as temporal reality. This necessarily implies that the everyday phenomenological world that we perceive ourselves transiting within, in a linear, step-by-step, moment-by-moment existence, is not the basic fundamental level of reality that we have been led to believe and rely upon. An appropriate analogy, and another way to conceptualize this idea, is to imagine a jet aircraft that is traveling faster than the speed of sound. When you look up to see the physical craft, it is already out of sight, and the sound of its engines merely follow or chase the same trajectory through space that the craft has already transited. The reality we see around us is much like this conceptually. Reality has already occurred, and our conscious awareness is much like the sound that is chasing the plane. But what if we could put our conscious awareness into the cockpit of the aircraft?
As you should already know, remote viewing puts us into the pilot seat of that metaphorical aircraft. A competently trained remote viewer is fully capable of perceiving any person, place, thing, or event in the past, present, or future without difficulty. Yet for all the power this affords the remote viewer, it is dramatically counterbalanced due to what has become known as the time problem. As any remote viewer knows, it is nearly impossible to accurately determine when a target is in time when using the skill to solve problems. This limitation is most apparent when engaging targets that require predictive analysis. In other words, a remote viewer can see into and describe the future state of a person, place, thing, or event, but they'll be hard-pressed to tell you when that change of state will occur for that person, place, thing, or event.
The development of Chronos finally allows even intermediate skill-level remote viewers the capability to solve time-based targeting problems with relative ease. Understanding how Chronos works requires us to delve into how time works and to set forth a few definitions and concepts so the protocol modifications and methodology presented later make sense. The first concept of time has already been briefly discussed, and we will expand on that information now. If quantum physicists are correct in their theories, then time as we consciously experience it does not really exist. The linear that we consciously perceive as time is merely an echo or projection of something that has already occurred, and our conscious awareness is merely experiencing this temporal reality after the fact. One might think now that this obviates the concept of free will, but it does not, as will be explained shortly. The second concept is known as quantum information theory. Information is physical, and being physical, it has energy and mass. Information exists outside of our conscious awareness as quantum information patterns. All of the universe is composed of quantum information patterns that are held in a particular state within the quantum system. There is compelling research that indicates the universe operates as a vast quantum computer and quantum network, its computations creating the world we see around us. This necessarily implies that the fundamental unit of quantification in the universe is information. This makes logical sense, because how would you, I, or the universe build a thing without first having the information about how to build it?